All right, guys, we're here with another Celebrity Spotlight this week, and I picked Mitt Romney. Now, he's kind of a has-been, or, we haven't really talked about him, but he's an interesting character because I actually went on live TV the eve of the election, and I absolutely knew, with several factors, actually, why he was not going to be president. And sure enough, he wasn't. So, I just knew, based on the numbers and a lot of different characteristics, that he just wasn't meant to be. And he does have a quirky chart. He's a bit of an odd duck. He's got an isolated 9, which means that he has a lot of ideas because he's got a 3 as well, but he's often misunderstood. He's often, like, people look at him like, what? So translating those ideas, they're kind of stuck. What I mean by isolate is that there's no other numbers around that 9 stuck up in the corner, so they can't come down. And he has a lot of physical. He has all the physical numbers. So he has the giddy up to do it, but translating those ideas is a little difficult. So some of these people will often just, never mind, not even share their ideas because they get so misunderstood. They're like tangent thinkers. It doesn't mean that they're weird thinkers. It just means they're ahead of the game, and people are like, back here, So he does have the arrow of the planner, or the arrow of inspiration, however you want to look at it. Some people use it as the planner, where they're very like lists, ducks in a row, very, rigid, or they can be the inspirational energy of like built-in cheerleader. And then he's got the arrow of practicality, which is great. I mean, he seemed like a good candidate in that respect, but at the same time, I think he was going toward the planner, just too East Coast. And I don't want to offend anybody because I'm from the East Coast. I'm from the East Coast. I'm talking like the 4th time zone people. That's like the what is the 4th time zone? Nobody knows. It's the Atlantic. So I'm 4 hours difference from my hometown, from LA, rather than the 3, which is East Coast. So, and I think there's like an island or something on Atlantic time too, way down somewhere in the Pacific. But anyway, so I'm not dogging anybody from the East. I'm just saying that the East has a different flavor than the West. It is very much more bohemian, relaxed, anything goes kind of thing here. And then the East is very cut and dry, very, if you go to New York, they're very sophisticated, they're dressed well, everything's neat and tidy, no flip-flops, that kind of thing. They're very put together, and it's very cut and dry. And I think that's who he was. It was very black and white, cut and dry, this is who I am, and a little bit too stiff for what we needed at the time. And he is a 27-9, so he wasn't necessarily ready to be a leader. More so, he was a follower, because Gandhi and Mother Teresa, for example, were the 27-9 life path. 2 + 7 is 9. They ended up being these great leaders, but it took them a while to get to that place. And so they go without. They look without for the answers, always, until they find that sense of inner self-trust. And then they blossom into this beautiful, wise sage type energy, humanitarian, all that beautiful stuff. But he wasn't there yet. And it does take a while. So looking at his cycles too, the last cycle was a 6 for him. I mean, he's got a lot of 3s and a lot of 6s all on his chart, on his peaks. That's all he has. So you're talking 3 is intellectual. 6 is always usually relationships, which he would have had an issue with. He's only got the 2 on there, so he's very sensitive and very much physical based or mental based. That's it. And he was in a 6 at the time, and 6 is a number of extremes, but it's also about forming a relationship. And that's really what, when you run for election, you're trying to form a relationship with the public to say, okay, I'm going to represent you, and how am I going to do that? It is somewhat of a relationship building thing. So he just wasn't there, and I think he was going through his own personal stuff too, so it wasn't his time. And so Obama got in again. Actually, I like Obama and Michelle because they kind of were backwards. They rattled the cage. It was pretty cool. But now we've got Trump, who's we won't speak of that again, but I can't help myself. I have Tourette's when it comes to Trump. But anyway, back to Mitt. Mitt, I'm sorry you didn't make it, as the president, but it wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't your path. So I hope that whatever you're doing now is something you enjoy, and that you've found your passion, and that you've stepped into that 27-9. But I want to say happy birthday to you, because it is your birthday. We always do the birthday ones, of course, but I'm hoping maybe we can get away from that a little bit and just shake it up. But you never know. Who knows with this? We're always like doing something new, so you have to keep tuning in. And if you have any suggestions even for a celebrity spotlight, let me know, because we're always searching for some cool cats to do. So happy birthday, Mitt. Sorry about the election, but I wish you the best. So peace out, guys, and tune in again next week for another celebrity spotlight here on LotteryUSA.com.